Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to start a new series about baseball. Everything about baseball. Stats, terms, off-season stuff, and so much more. But first, we're going to talk about stats, and there's no better place to start than the triple slash. It's been around since the dawn of baseball, and is widely used by just about everyone in the baseball community to see just how good a hitter is. So what is the triple slash anyway? It's the average, OBP, and slugging, or batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage. And those of you who are new to baseball might know what the first one is, or at least heard of it, so let's start there. Average. Batting average is one of the most famous stats in sports, and the baseline for all hitters. It is calculated by taking the number of hits a player got and dividing it by the number of at-bats they had. And remember, at-bats does not include walks or hit by pitches. Let's take a look at Mookie Betts for example. Mookie had 180 hits and 520 at-bats this season. That comes out to a .346 batting average. But where does that stack up? Well, if we look at this chart, he would have been placed in the elite category of hitters, where he belongs. He actually led the MLB this year in batting average by a considerable margin. And at the bottom you'd probably see a guy like Joey Gallo, who doesn't get a lot of base hits. A good rule of thumb is if the hitter hits over 300, they had a pretty good season. Fun fact, the highest average in a season all time was Hall of Famer Nap Lajoie, who hit .426 in 1901. The most recent 400 season was Ted Williams, who hit .406 in 1941. Nowadays, however, 400 is pretty much unattainable with the level of pitching there is. But there are some drawbacks of this stat. First of all, it counts a hit like this the same as a hit like this. So power hitters like Giancarlo Stanton don't get their due when it comes to this stat. Lately, more and more people have opted to not use this stat as much because it does not showcase a hitter's true value. Now, let's move on to OBP, or on-base percentage, or as I like to call it, the Moneyball stat. OBP is very similar to batting average, except it factors in walks and hit by pitches, so it's calculated as hits plus walks plus hit by pitches divided by plate appearances, and plate appearances is just at-bats plus walks plus hit by pitches. So let's take our friend Mookie again and check out his OBP for the 2018 season. Alright, so he had 180 hits, he walked 81 times and got hit by 8 pitches. That is all divided by his plate appearances, where he had 614, and that number comes out to .438. And as we did with average, let us see where that stacks up against the MLB. Oh look, he's the lead again. But actually, Mike Trout led the league in OBP this year, but there's no surprise there. A common occurrence you probably will see is comparing OBP to average. So if their OBP is closer to their batting average, like JD Martinez, that means they do not walk a lot. But like Bryce Harper, it's far away, which means they get on base other ways and could be just as valuable. But, like batting average, a bloop single counts as much as a home run, so maybe not the best choice of seeing how good a batter really is. And the final stat in the triple slash, slugging percentage. I'd say it's the most complicated out of the three, but it's pretty easy to understand. To put it in basic terms, it is the total bases per at-bat. But before we see how Mookie did, we have to understand total bases. Total bases describes the amount of bases went around by a player. So a single is 1, a double is 2, a triple is 3, and a home run is 4. They all add up to one number, or total bases. But remember, walks, steals, hit by pitches, or any way of going around the bases or getting on base does not count towards this number. Alright Mookie, you're up. So let's see, he had 333 total bases in 2018, and 520 at-bats. So that comes out to a .640 slugging percentage. So where does Mookie rank among the league's best? Yeah, elite category again. But what does this mean? It essentially means that every time Mookie came up to bat, excluding walks, errors, hit by pitches, interference, he had a 64% chance of getting to first base. Very impressive. Guys like Barry Bonds dominated this stat because of all their extra base hits. This stat tends to cater towards guys who have more home runs and extra base hits. More bases means a higher slugging. So a guy like D. Gordon, who gets a lot of singles, might have a high batting average and a high on-base percentage, but not as high of a slugging as a guy like Alex Bregman, who gets a lot of extra base hits. I hope this made sense to all your baseball newbies out there. It's hard to understand all these advanced statistics that we will take a look at in the future episodes without understanding these basic ones. Thanks for watching, and remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jackson Dells, and you can go to my website www.dellsfilms.com for YouTube news and updates and even a Red Sox blog. Subscribe if you want, like if you think it was helpful, and comment your favorite player down below. Until next time, see ya!